ESL 1 is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, GG Bet, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, and DHL.
Welcome back, Alliance fans. Welcome back, VP.Prodigy fans. And welcome back, Dota fans in general. Now, I don't want to say welcome back, Fairweather Alliance fans, because during last ESL, this is where the roster has changed. And there was a lot of people doubting this Alliance roster early on. And they flamed them. These guys suck. It was their first tournament together. Now we're on their third. They're about ready to be in the grand finals, my friends.
I think somebody even mentioned that their new captain was a little washed up.
Yeah, he might have been. I believe he's on VP.Prodigy, right?
Interesting. What's the last game? They didn't look too washed up though.
No, it looked like their new captain outdrafted them.
Maybe Save's a little bit washed up.
Dang. Well, maybe. But I'm curious, Peter, as someone, you've been on a few different rosters, and obviously you've made changes that fans don't like. How do you just ignore it? Like, if you're S4, right? Like, I'm sure he knows people are like, they've ruined Alliance, they're doing that. Is it like best as you as an individual just ignore it, or do you acknowledge it?
Yeah, I think you kind of lean into it. It's fine, right? There's a little bit of truth to what the memes, right? There's always a little bit of truth to them.
Yeah,
sure,
to some extent. So, I think he understood that he was, he had taken a little bit of a break. It was going to take some getting used to, but he's got a great group of guys. It seems working with them, helping him get started, and they're doing fantastically. Looking like maybe best team in the world.
Yeah, it's feeling good. And, yeah, you never know. And we saw last time as well, they hadn't had a permanent fifth player. I don't believe FNG's officially signed, but after performances like this, is it feeling like this guy's pretty good?
Yeah, not official yet.
Yeah, not official, but you win a grand finals, it's like, well, you kind of have to. But here we are at the draft. Alliance get to do the same thing that Oracle PL the first two. VP.Prodigy, they also start off the same with that Shadow Demon.
Alliance has first pick again, but they're on Dire this time.
So the only change-up is the side which you're playing on. Enchantress goes away this time.
Same bands from Alliance so far.
Yeah, there goes the DK. That is a pretty big problematic hero when, it's doing well in lane and then just dominating you in the mid game.
I think it's one of the better, I think it's probably the best neutral mid hero that you could pick, just because he offers the Dragon Tail stun.
Yeah.
It's always helpful.
And all right, what are we thinking here? We have the two cores that normally get banned, but sometimes left in, DP as well as Ember. They don't feel like the best overall first pick.
Oh, we've seen a lot of first pick Embers. We've seen Enchantress out of the pool. We've seen Earthshaker a few times.
Phoenix is still in.
Oh yeah, Phoenix was in the entire last draft.
Yeah,
it did not get banned or picked.
Hero's fallen out of favor, no doubt.
Well, we'll see. They don't want to use any time, and they will take out that Earthshaker, or they get the Earthshaker, pardon me.
I think it's a good choice, especially with Dragon Knight being out of the pool. Lack of solid disables, potentially, in popular meta picks.
You know what we haven't seen so far that I'm surprised we haven't seen this series or last series? Kunkka.
It got banned last game. But yeah, besides that.
See a bit of this hero. Been used as a counter to Queen of Pain. I think it's also pretty good against Dragon Knight. But those heroes out of the pool, so I'm not sure if we'll see it.
They go back to the DP and the Bane.
This is a opening. You said you wanted last game when instead they took the Quap and instant Beastmaster from Alliance.
Yeah, Beastmaster actually was banned in the previous game.
Yeah, that's the one.
As was Lycan, who is also banned as well, but Beastmaster squeaks through and instantly picked up.
Yeah.
A little bit of a Zoo army to counter the support Bane. I also think Earthshaker has done quite well versus Bane in this tournament. Just a long-range Fissure Stun to cancel that Fiend script.
Makes it pretty easy. Don't let him just get it off. We've seen this Ein. He manages to find these full ultimates on just random heroes in team fights. You always have to make sure someone's there to cancel him.
If he sees the Fissure go, then it opens up a lot for him.
Then you have to get melee range to cancel it. Not so easy. All right. We ban out. Alliance in the second phase, going to use some time here. Did you just ban out, obviously, either a hero that's good against what you're about to pick, but are there any heroes that just dumpster the Beastmaster outside of the Chen's Enchantresses? Are there, like, cores that do it in lane pretty well? Or is it usually the support?
Not really.
Okay.
I think Beastmaster's quite well-rounded, which is why he's being picked up so early in so many drafts. Seems to always have a good time and hits really strong spikes when he hits level 3 and level 5 with the upgrade to the boar.
I think part of the problem is that it's so easy to bully supports with the boar.
Yeah, plus
it's
the hero, the other hero.
Yeah, it's you can see us in lane and then you just have 2 boars like pecking
hey.
at him. Yeah, it's.
I think a Morphling is pretty good versus the Beastmaster.
We'll have to see, because that was actually banned in this second phase last game, but Alliance goes with a Rubik this time instead. So we'll see if that Morphling makes it through. VP.Prodigy themselves are scared. So it looks like for Alliance out of this pick, they're probably going to be looking for their 5. Meanwhile, VP.Prodigy, they're looking for that 4.
It's possible that they pick a core out the phase if they feel like it's possible that Alliance would want the same core as well.
Any of those heroes, does anything come to mind?
No,
Not really
no,
right now. Okay.
it depends. We'll see what they pick, and we can kind of talk about maybe Alliance could have worked it into their draft. They already have their offlaner from Alliance, so it would be like a potential mid or carry.
Okay. Both teams using some on this, and they will ban out the Ricky this time. Thinking it was the problem. Nico Baby just creating havoc everywhere on the map. Nature's Proud's still in the pool. We keep talking about it here, and it does keep seeing play. Not really seeing many bans anymore,
They could
though.
go for the... I don't know if they've been one of the teams to play Clockwork, but they could try and make it work here.
For Prodigy?
Yeah, for Prodigy.
Okay.
Against the Earthshaker?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the only time that I've seen Clockwork have success is with Death Prophet. With the Silence plus Cogs combo, it doesn't matter. All the heroes that are good against Clock don't like the Death Prophet Silence, so it's kind of like they work together quite well, I think. And when you're on second pick, that's kind of what you're trying to do, is build synergy on your side, because a lot of times you're just going to get counterpicked regardless.
Oh, well. VP.Prodigy. Use time here. What?
They could also do Tusk. They could do... They could maybe... I think they need some... You know, some big guy who can tank some spells. Bane's not going to be entering team fights.
No.
Death Prophet doesn't necessarily just want to lead the charge.
Well, they go the opposite way and get another ranged intelligence.
That's an interesting support combo. It's not a neither of those heroes can really help you.
Double Fiend's Grip.
Oh my god. Okay. Mechanics question for you guys. Do you, I'm not saying the damage or anything, do you drain the mana from both targets?
Yes.
You should.
Correct. I feel like Charlie, you waited till Peter answered to answer, but
Oh,
you know,
he
it's
did
cool.
answer a little bit later.
Yeah. But you're correct. Not really. I mean, it was a pretty easy mechanic. I just want to make sure you guys have the... You can't have the intermediate and advanced stuff down if you don't have the basics down, but you guys got that strong basic foundation.
No, but Baneall doesn't even drain mana anymore.
Yeah, it does.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% positive. Nice try, Peter. Well tried, my friend. All right, what do we look? That has to be a 5 hero. It doesn't have to be, but it feels like why show something else if they haven't showed it, and you can force them to show another core first, right? Unless there's like a core that's just like, holy crap, we have to get it.
Yeah, but not identified.
So they'll just take the Witch Doctor, which this one's been on the rise since the beginning of this tournament. We are seeing more and more first phases even.
It's another stun to potentially, maybe the coconuts bounce to the Bane while he's channeling.
Yeah, for sure.
And they go with the Ember. Grim Stroke
Spirits.
Ember in the second phase. And you said you want the combos in
This is a strong lane. You can do this as a safe lane up against Beastmaster if you'd like. However, they're definitely still lacking somebody to
be up front.
I suppose Death Prophet, we've seen DM play Death Prophet in the side lane, go for like that early pipe, kind of be like tanky frontliner for them. Maybe they'll do that, but I think it would be, well, I suppose FN, I don't know, they're still pretty open, right? I think Ember Spirit's probably 1 or 2. I don't think they'll put DM as a 3. They'll probably just give Death Prophet. I'd expect Death Prophet to be played by DM, FN to play the Ember Spirit, and then the last pick, that Epileptic Kid hero.
We'll see. Alliance, what do they want? You got to get a core now. And, well, we have seen this Viper in this pick every single time. When we see the Viper, it seems to be this last pick of the second phase.
Well, either way, you know Limp's matchup is either going to be the Death Prophet or the Ember.
It's a good call.
And, I mean, Viper does perfectly fine against both. Absolutely destroys Ember Spirit.
And now that we've seen a bunch of Vipers, is there like, how do you just play this hero out of the laning phase, right? You dominate your lane, you're not the most mobile. I just don't really understand like what you do after the laning phase. Do you want to push that middle tower? Do you want people to rotate to you? Or are you like TPing to help people defend when they get dove?
You're bad at moving, so it's much better if your team can come to you and if you can just be the person who's just pushing towers. Just be very focused on rotating around. We've seen a lot of people, they just kind of dodge the Viper.
Yeah.
Right? So trying to chase the Viper is kind of counterintuitive. So
just avoid.
Just push and be a frontliner.
They do ban the Morphling, so the Morphling will go out of the pool before this last phase.
Curious what answers they might have for the Viper pick. I don't know what mid laners can even do well. Maybe they'll just tell Ember Spirit or Death Prophet just to, good luck.
Suck it up. I know Secret has done it once. I've seen it in pubs. I know a lot of people hate the hero, but Windranger has done decently versus the Viper from what I've seen. Just straight up in lane, I don't think it counters in the game, but in lane, I've seen it do okay. Quinn's done it as well.
Yeah, that would be out of left field.
Yeah. It'd make their draft look really weird, though.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying in lane, I've seen it counter. I don't think they should pick it.
Yeah, Alliance think that they're still missing their VP.Prodigy is still missing their offlaner.
Yep. So
I always think that illusion heroes are good against the Viper. Naga Terrorblade, PL, right?
Yeah.
PL out of the pool. I think Lycan is good versus Viper too, but that both those heroes are out of the pool. Maybe why you're seeing a little bit more resurgence of Viper. See what else is left.
I mean, it feels like we've suggested the TB a few times, and we've only seen it picked once, right, in NA. I don't even think we've seen it in Europe yet.
But they have an Earthshaker on their team, which he likes playing against those Elu heroes.
Oh, the Wraith King, the Nico baby Wraith King, going back to TI here.
I like it. Double tempo pick here. Viper and Wraith King both want to push towers, be tanky frontliners for their team.
Easy to group up with them. And you've got the split push from Beastmaster as well as the Orr if he wants to join up. You got a pretty strong mid-game lineup here from Alliance, it feels like.
Yeah.
But VP's not bad either.
Tough pick. Well, yeah, you say that, but I'm not sure I would like this quad setup of heroes they have at the moment. I'm not sure what last pick they can have that's going to round out this draft. I think they've got team fight issues. I think they might have laning issues.
Dang. You think... How do you saw it? Can you just is the Grimstroke Ember then? Do you think if they have lane issues, should they just put these heroes together, pick a last hard carry and DP middle then? Or how do you fix it if you think they have weak lanes?
I personally just don't know what matches up well enough against Viper to handle it. Maybe it's DP, maybe it's something else.
Nature. We'll see. Let's see who gets the pick. I'm curious who's going up middle.
Furion will go mid versus Viper.
So it is going to be the DM Death Prophet in the off lane as well. So, guys, we got the draft. Is this going to be the 2-0, or are we seeing a Game 3?
I think it was a good decision, but I think that they put themselves in too bad of a spot. And as good as the Furion pick is, I'm not sure it's going to be enough to offset the Wraith King of Nico Baby. I think he's got a pretty free game ahead of him. Okay,
so lines for Peter. Charlie, you look deep in thought. What are the thoughts?
I think the support duo out of VP.Prodigy isn't aggressive enough for me, and I think they're kind of going to get run over by this Beastmaster. So, I'm going to go with Alliance.
Alliance as well. All right, a 2-0 from both you. And you know what? I have to agree with you. It looks like Alliance, they should be able to take this Wraith King. Why are you shaking your head, Peter? You want me to lie? It's going to be VP.Prodigy. This last pick, Nature's Prodigy. We have seen Miracle carry on it. We've seen FN himself has carried on as well. Why couldn't he carry now? Well, that's a good question. We'll have to ask to Dakota and PPD.
What?
What's up? Welcome in, everybody. Prodigy versus Alliance game number 2. Alliance have the game 1 victory here, Cap. And it sounds like from the panel they feel confident again in Alliance's draft here, or felt more confident in saying that Prodigy may have not set themselves up in the best position here. I'm curious to get your thoughts on it now, because we look at Alliance's side. You get the Viper early on, but against potentially what could be the Death Prophet or the Ember, and they round it out with the Wraith King. 2 tempo, pushing objective heroes that are looking like they're not going to have too much of a contention, too much of a roadblock ahead of them.
Yeah, I think that if you look at the difference between where Alliance has drafted this Viper compared to Enigma earlier, I think Alliance have a lot stronger understanding of how they want to utilize this Viper. And look at the cores that are surrounding it, right? All of those heroes have a stun to offer. So the Viper is the raw strength in the team fight. He's a bunch of damage. He's kind of tanky, hard to break down. But they need to actually be able to force fights. So they've got a lot of stuns around him, and they also have a lot of pushing power. So if Virtus.Pro.Prodigy tries to dance away from the Viper, like we saw Secret do, guess what? There's a Wraith King and a Beastmaster. We're going to demolish towers way faster than you can. And we're going to do it at a faster tempo, too, because you have Death Prophet. Exorcism comes with a cooldown. Beastmaster boars, they don't. Skeletons, not really much. As long as you're killing stuff, you're able to keep that momentum going. So I really like the way that Alliance drafted around this Viper. It feels very strong. Virtus.Pro.Prodigy, though, I don't think this is going to be too terrible for them, because they do have the Nature's Prophet that is going to be matched up in the mid lane, so they're not going to be giving that Viper that free lane, or at least I assume it's not a free lane. I don't know exactly how this matchup goes, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like we may be seeing a little bit of a ring around the rosy on the laning.
Yes.
I'm seeing FNG on the bottom now. Hanskin's obviously there to block out the lane, but you know, where's S4 at? Nico Baby's going bottom, it looks like, to join. Limp obviously mid. That's a no-brainer there. Eyeing incredibly deep in this top lane right now. It's S4. Is this total solo safe lane setup?
Yeah, it looks like they really don't want to have the Ember Spirit Wraith King matchup. They'd like the Death Prophet there. The Ember Spirit can match into the Beastmaster lane. Sleight of Fist, I guess, can help you deal with boars. And he has no way... Well, I guess Wild Axes is actually magic damage, but considering the builds that we've seen for Beastmasters, unlikely to be removing Flame Guard. So Epileptic Kid kind of has free reign there, which is another good way to kill the boars.
Yeah, as it stands right now, Prodigy can certainly get a lot out of that top lane. We're looking at mid lane here, and no surprise, Limp is running out of the gate here with the CS on his Viper early on. We'll have to see how FN can recover as the levels come together for him. But it's definitely going to be a rough start. And then Alliance turn up the aggression towards the bottom lane, or at least the attention towards this bottom lane for now, as Hanskin's still lingering around a bit. Not sure if he's looking to go in for a full creep wave pull or just trying to get an early block and kill.
Whenever I see Limp and he's performing so well, all I can think of is like, so that's what happens when you take a European out of USC servers and put him back into Europe. You know? Like, Limp is just dominating, man. And I have to imagine the scrim environment and the pubs that he's playing are really setting him up for that. FN's going to get blocked in and probably killed here.
Oh, there's Hanskin. He had been lingering around that bottom lane, but more importantly, he continues to linger in the shadows and in the unknown for Prodigy, and they were not prepared for the roaming gank in the mid.
Yeah, very nice from them. These Earthshaker aggro tri-lanes, we're seeing it more and more and more, right? The Fisher block in an aggro tri-lane situation is deadly, and on top of that, the pressure of this lane allows you to freely roam into mid. So if you have a hero that really takes advantage of it, like the Viper obviously does, or Death Prophet is another good example of that, then it just means you can probably win 2 out of 3 of your lanes. At this point, like, do you really care how S4 is doing if you've won the mid matchup and Death Prophet's not farming bottom at all? S4 is still doing fine because it's a Beastmaster, and the Beastmaster always does kind of okay in his lane, no matter what the matchup is, it feels like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, S4 is still getting a decent amount of CS for himself. As long as he's not feeding over kills, you'd be considering this a bit of a win. As mid lane, trouble for FN. Limp already was doing good. Then he gets the rotation gank, does that much better. Now Limp is so freaking confident that he is tipping FN on the other side. And, you know, FN, how would you gauge his tiltometer here? Because this is a guy, didn't he have quite the pub history a bit?
Oh yeah, he was known for his temper, and he would feed some games, flame some allies.
Heavy breathing here.
But apparently he has changed. Apparently he's become a much better teammate. I don't know how his pubs have gone because I haven't been in Europe in quite some time.
Okay. Bottom lane could be trouble for the new recruit in FNG, getting totally soul siphoned up, and the Crypt Swarm, one last right click, not going to be enough. He's got that early point into the Voodoo Restoration, and it creates that little bit of a regen bubble for him to survive.
I'm telling you, man, Voodoo Restoration is so good.
Limp is just feeling it right now. He's still tossing out tips. I don't even see Nature's Prophet in the lane anymore.
Yes, this is one of those things that Beastmaster takes a big advantage of it. Furion does quite well. If your lane is really that bad, just start hitting jungle. This camping so close to the middle lane, it's a way for you to be able to recover.
Alliance just looking to take it to Prodigy. I know there were some Prodigy members who had choice words for Alliance, so maybe Alliance just bringing that...
Washed up, they said.
No, yeah, we're washed up, buddy. We're washed up, buddy. We'll show you what it's all about, and Alliance come out strong already in this playoff performance. They slam down Secret.
Oh, look at
and game
he picked
number
up his
one.
Invis, and he sat there waiting for FN to TP back in. He couldn't actually kill him, but still immediately shoves him back out of lane again.
Struggleville right now for FN as he's going to have to chew through that salve early on. And Skin taking the outpost back.
He's going to have level 6 soon on Limp.
Yeah, I'm curious what he's going to do with it. The panel was talking a bit about what you do as a Viper after the laning stage. I mean, what should he do? He's crushed his laning stage. This is like one of the best things you can ask for as a Viper. Is it what they were talking about? Just try to pull the attention to yourself in the mid lane and do that DK style, push the tower down when available to you?
Yeah, the downside is that your chip damage on tower isn't that strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can dominate your mid matchup enough and constantly force rotations over, especially if they don't have a good support to deal with your pushing power. Because eventually that core that is against you, he doesn't want to be in that lane anymore. And so what you do is you put a support there to replace him. And they do have a good one to replace him. Grimstroke is one of the best heroes to be able to pull creeps off of towers because you can do it from such a long range. So I think that is eventually the play you make to try and counter this Viper. And let Furion run around. But this is still a ways away. Like, we need our Furion to actually be, like, level 6 at least with Wrath of Nature so we can make successful rotations.
For
Here,
sure.
Limp is asserting his dominance so early.
Now they have to force out 2 rotations through this mid lane. And it's just a 2-on-2 now. Save has to come to the side of FN because the pressure is mounting. And even Ein is around the corner on the Bane. So a huge win for Limp and Alliance in this mid lane, just already starting to pull all that attention here. You just know with Viper having that level 6, he's about to hit level 7.
DM, he's going to be okay. He's got Fairy Fire, so the Maledict not going to do that much damage.
S4 also was under pressure, and he barely survived too, so both offlaners needing that bit of attention. But S4 still surviving. He's living. He's got pretty good net worth, pretty good last hits.
Yeah, pretty big difference, right? He's already level 6. DM is just barely hit level 5 recently, so
we'll see if we're going to get that early Primal Roar set up or not. And Prodigy could look to respond to said Primal Roar with a rotation over from FN. But if Prodigy can't, at least avoid trouble from Alliance, from the evolution of this laning stage, then this game could spiral out of control real fast for him.
FN's got to come out the gate swinging here. As soon as he hits his level 6, he needs to get a good Wrath of Nature teleport play. Maybe kill S4 at top and try and pressure his tower to force rotations. I'm not exactly sure which play is better. Because there's obviously the bottom lane where you want to deal with that Wraith King, but he's got Reincarnation. It's a short lane. Feels like you'd probably get punished for that.
It's tough, right? Because you're going to have to balance between trying to go on some offensive action and look for a pick setup, but risk being jumped into a rotating like S4 Roar, or going for a Wraith King who ends up having that second life like you're talking about. So do you want to go on the offensive, or do you want to wait for Alliance to make a move and try and make a counter action happen? Prodigy kind of have their work cut out for them on how they want to strategize things moving forward, because Alliance have that much better XP. They have already their level 6s online ready to go. And the more time that Prodigy need to farm up, you know, that's just more time for Alliance to kind of inch further ahead.
The core is being fed the royal jelly. Very nice.
Royal jelly. It looks like a honeycomb, though.
Yeah.
Looks like honey.
That's
jelly.
what, I think that is what it's referenced to. Is, I think there's a special form of honey or something like that. The queen feeds.
Dota lore honey. Damn. Got to get the loregasm on
Get
that
him.
one. As
Epileptic
we see.
kid. He
Here it
wants to
is.
kill on Limp.
The rotation we've been waiting for. Coming out from FN. Does he tip him back? That's what's important here. FN is going to pay the price as he's maledicted and stunned up. And he gives him the tip back. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, he's saying this was super worth it. That was your highest net worth hero. Epileptic Kid was a part of that kill. He's the other one that's rivaling for top net worth right now. Necronomicon is already up, though, on S4, so similar to the way that Nature's Prophet is able to abandon his lane once it's a little bit hard, Beastmaster can do the same.
Oh, Beastmaster rolling over. He's got the good book. He's got the ulti. Stun out potentially for Epileptic Kid, but he slides. Whether convenient timing or perfect timing, he's going to be fine. And now the sleep. Can he slight and run from this? I don't think so. He's got no mana left and will get slowly walked down and finished off. Meanwhile, Limp gets a takedown of DM, it looks like, in the bottom lane.
So, first Viper rotation. Wraith King is so good at being able to take towers. If he had a full skeleton stack, it's kind of what you want to do. It's similar plays for Nature's Prophet and in this Wraith King. Just kill the opposing hero in lane, and then use your summons to bully the tower and force TP rotations. Otherwise, they're going to lose that tower.
They get to the tower, but there's no more creep wave here for Alliance, so it's going to be a bit more time before they can get the extra pressure they want on these side lanes here. And for Prodigy, as you see, they did a rotation over. Epileptic Kid is now mid lane on his Ember. He gets the illusion at the top as the 10-minute bounties do roll out.
It's pretty slick. He's got the illusion rune, and he also used the Sleight of Fist earlier to dodge the Viper Strike. So that is something that they're just going to have to be aware of in Alliance. I didn't even know that was possible, but apparently it is.
He's looking to finish out that Deso and get the BKB, so a lot of hammers coming together for Epileptic Kid. As we hear the call of the DM Exorcism, he is committing in to get the finish on this Tier 1 tower top. Looks like there should be a little trouble. S4 rolling through, not able to get the deny. But, you know, he makes it a laning phase without taking a kill. It's bottom lane where action breaks out. Whoa, suddenly a jump. FN behind the tower, self-sprout. And the Maledict is going to get placed, but there's not too much follow-up damage.
So with the Death Prophet dying, what they did is they switched that idea of what I was talking about. Furion ganks top and uses his treants to pressure the tower. They say, okay, Death Prophet, you're back in base. You TP up to top lane. You use your exorcism to take that tower. They're not going to fight you because Furion can TP up there at any time. Furion, in turn, because he's so tanky right now, he's got Magic Wand and Treads, he's the tankiest of them all, he will put himself in harm's way to defend bottom tower, and you guys can counter-rotate if they try and dive. As a result, sure enough, he's tanky enough to survive through their initial push, and now Virtus.Pro.Prodigy is up a tower.
All right. Here we are, Prodigy, showing that they've got lane fight as well, and they will not allow His Majesty, the Nico Baby King, to take an easy Tier 1 bottom lane so that they can hold control on their jungle front and not get starved out in the economy game moving forward. And now their attention could waver back to this mid lane to get some damage on the Tier 1 if possible. S4 still farming through that top lane. Mid move in, though, from Handskin with that fissure, but obviously Epileptic Kid going to be able to remnant away from any sort of trap.
The really good part for Alliance here is that they are going to take, like when people are just kind of free farming away, I think Wraith King is the hero that takes the greatest advantage of this, both because of his skeletons, but because he's building into that Radiance, right? The Radiance in turn speeds up your farm even more.
Yeah. Is that what you want to be waiting for next, though, for your Alliance, or can you do more before the Radiance comes together? We are going to be seeing a jump onto FNG in that bottom river. Even FN rotating in from the high ground will be able to get the last hit, plus a ward deny there from Ein. Real nice. And this will turn into a mid-tier 1 tower pressure, but yeah, on that question, you know, Alliance, great, huge laning phase. Now it's a matter of what they want to do between this point and then the point Wraith King gets that Radiance.
The bare minimum is defending your mid tower, because that protects all the farming areas that you want to take right now. Viper is farming up those camps just north of him, and Wraith King's farming up the triangle. If they lose their mid tower, both are very exposed. So bare minimum is, yes, they have to make some moves to defend mid tower. I think very likely they smoke up at some point in time with the Beastmaster and Viper, and then whatever supports are free. Maybe they let the Earthshaker continue to farm, and they played a little bit greedier where they only go 3-man smoke. But I do think they should get active and try and make some sort of play to either kill somebody with Roar. It doesn't actually matter who too much. Just one of the cores would be nice.
Well, we have Prodigy still hanging around the mid lane. They pressure the tower again and forced out another rotation from Alliance as Nico Baby rotates over, but you know, once the push is not fully committed, Alliance try to go to the jungle nearby, and both teams kind of playing this mid-game of chicken almost. But now Alliance have set themselves up to make a movement down on the bottom half of the map. Hanskin pops a smoke, and they have eyes on Epileptic Kid, but he remnants away to the mid lane, and here we go again. They go right into action. It looks like this time they will finally get that tier 1 finish.
It's so dumb that Fire Remnant breaks smoke as you go through people. So, you know, he breaks the smoke of Alliance as he returns to the mid lane. Nobody's there to defend it. Mid tower is now open. VP.Prodigy are doing a good job. I think they're outmaneuvering Alliance. They're using their lane shove that they have, right? Because all their heroes can do it, and some of them can do it really aggressively, like the Ember Spirit.
Certainly feels that way. Alliance had a nice laning phase, commanding one in the mid lane for sure, but to being able to do something from it now, and like you mentioned, Prodigy have just been kind of sidestepping Alliance all along the way. Nice little sleep, but way too much follow-up damage, and now Limpus get the catch onto Ein, and just like that, Alliance do manage to hold the bottom lane and take a couple of scrappy kills, and then they will turn this into their own tier 1 takedown.
Yeah, that was a bit silly. No one was showing in that mid lane still. So I'm not sure why DM thought he could be that aggressive. It was weird.
I don't know. Limpus tipping back FN, even though they're not in the same lane. This back and forth battle of, oh, we got the advantage, so how about you take this nickel? Throws back that way.
Doesn't want to stop, I guess.
The rivalry is real, and we love it. We love storylines here. As 7-2, our game advantage for Alliance. Just a slight 2K.
Oh, no, Hanskin. That's not an outpost you could take right now.
He is so confident at this point, feeling like they can pressure up to this top lane. He will pay for it. And G will pay as witness, too. And just as Alliance scrap together 2 kills themselves, it's Prodigy who at least respond by taking the 2 supports.
That was just unfortunate because Prodigy was already TPing in to that shrine, to that outpost, rather. And their TPs were almost complete when Hanskin goes up that high ground, rounds the corner, touches the outpost, and he freezes. He goes, oh, shit. There are 3 people already teleporting here. Oh, God. Fortunately, it's just the 2 supports, so not that big of a deal. Nico Baby is still going completely uncontested. He's going to have the Radiance pretty quickly here. I think Prodigy would do well to try and make a move where they kill him twice.
Mid lane, FN rotates over. He's got the blade mail. He pops it, and Limp puts his focus on someone else. He gets hit with the Fiend's Grip, though. But look who's sweeping him from behind. It's FNG with his own support ulti, and they blast down the Nature's Prophet. The Roar going to be there from S4, and he's got that new Necro 3. So he flexes it out and begins to take it right back to Prodigy. Here comes His Majesty, the King, Nico Baby. Forces down Epileptic Kid and makes him take a knee. And it looks like DM will be next. Alliance get the fight they were hoping for. As Prodigy present themselves in the mid lane, I don't think they were prepared for Alliance to come out from the brushes and show themselves.
No, not at all. FNG, such a great ultimate there. I think FN did a good job of baiting himself with that blade mail. Like, he got Viper struck and then said, aha, I had this blade mail. You're now dead, Viper. That was smart, but sadly, FNG was just able to get a full ultimate. I mean, they committed so much, right? Fiend's Grip being used on this Viper as well.
No one can cancel that ult. They already committed the Bane utility, so he's going to get that full duration off. And then, as S4 just received that Necro 3. It just flew out, and he was going to be able to put it to good use right away on this one. They will lose, FNG for their troubles, but huge win for Alliance. and their cores on being able to stand tall at the end of that fight.
You know, one of the big things about when we were here for ESL 1 Los Angeles was it was a Diffuse-a-Blade meta, right? We were just seeing Diffuse-a-Blade cores constantly. Slark, Phantom Lancer, those heroes. Hanskin might be dead.
Good setup from Save, just sweeping in with the Inkswell, and the call-outs there from FN to rotate over, and he does get hit with the Maledict, but that Witch Doctor ult is very ambitious. Can't chase out, and now FNG could be in a bit of trouble, but they turn it around. Suddenly Alliance members come out from the woodwork and put full force onto Epileptic Kid. Sleep is there from Ein. Is it going to be enough? He bottles, and he goes down shortly thereafter. It looks like Ein could be next. And Alliance again with a wonderful counter fight.
Yeah, Prodigy was doing a good job of forcing Alliance members around the map and forcing them apart, and that's how they're winning their fights earlier. But now they're not putting the same kind of pressure, and Alliance is being allowed to show up with 4 or 5 people to every team fight. It helps that their Necronomicon is online. It helps that Nico Baby has been able to throw skeletons down lane. Now he's even got the Radiance, so his farm is really going to start picking up. But I was going to talk about the mana burn aspect of this Necronomicon. It has been really impactful in this game. And I think that Diffuse-a-Blade was still strong in this meta. Mana burn is such a potent tool. It's denied DM his Spirit Siphons in that mid lane fight. It's kept the Ember Spirit down a couple times, gotten him killed.
Here we see potential fight back coming out from Prodigy. They want to hold their jungle if possible. FN rotates in to try to assist, where DM is getting surrounded. He gets off as many Soul Siphons as possible and is going to be successful at least ripping down FNG. They take the first life, but the dunk comes in from Hanskin and catches out 2. They finish off the support and look at FN as a kicker. Epileptic Kid is going to be fully focused next, and it's 3 fights straight for Alliance. As a double kill for Nico Baby is dominating, and a 6K net worth advantage quickly comes together for Alliance.
They're just completely out fighting them, and it's going to get even worse. Now they've got their initiating tools like that Blink Dagger from the Earthshaker that was shown to hit that nice 2-man Echo Slam. They don't really have good save mechanisms for the Death Prophet, and she's still working on that first item. Like, she's got Hooded Defiance, but no Yules on the horizon, is actually going for a Blade Mail instead. I don't know. The Death Ward doesn't care about Blade Mail. Wraith King's not going to care about Blade Mail too much.
We'll check the replay again. Prodigy rolling on in.
The only reason he lives so long is right here he gets Nightmared and untargetable, and he heals so much from 3 different Spirit Siphons. But even with that ideal play, they still get run over.
Save goes down to the hands of S4. Ein is able to get that finish on Nico Baby, though, in the top lane with assistance from FN.
Okay, very big kill.
Very big pick on Nico Baby, who's just kind of, in his own world, farming through the top lane. Prodigy say that we're not backing down yet. We'll still be on the hunt and look for these setups.
Just keep this going. I don't know, though. Beastmaster, man. I was playing against this hero yesterday. He just is too strong, man. These boars are hitting for 64 damage apiece. There's 2 of them in the fight. Then you've got this Necronomicon that's burning people out of mana. That's another like 200 damage per hit from both of them. The Helmet Dominator amping everybody up by another 20%.
Yeah.
These team fights are so hard to take unless you have an easy way to clear through that kind of zoo. And I don't think Prodigy has that.
He's got a bird to help scout things out to get that fight started or to avoid potential trouble. And yeah, he's a hero who really seems to kind of have it all. As here they come again, Prodigy. There was lots of wards. I don't know if that back ward saw the smoke or not.
That was a double smoke too.
Alliance popped their own smoke. Oh, and they've caught Epileptic Kid, the man behind. They don't have the lock. Silence, though, from DM does manage to catch 2. Once the silence does fade, S4 just rips her up with that Primal Roar. A full Death Ward comes out from FNG, and they assist in ripping apart Save. Big damage, though, onto Limp as he gets hit with that Grim ulti. FN is like the one DPSer, it feels, for Prodigy. Does manage to scrape a kill, but man, look at this. They're going to lose 5 again. This is like the 3rd or 4th 5-man wipe on Prodigy this game. What did I miss?
Nico Baby's feeling himself right now. Drops the Radiance and starts fake swinging on it.
Oh my God.
Holy crap.
I think they, they have some little bit of salt from Prodigy and what they had to say before. But I love
Disrespect
it, man.
our captain like that.
I love it. I love it. Who's washed now?
Nico Baby's about to be his level 18. They got 10,000 net worth lead. I don't know. It just felt like they got to about 10 minutes, and Virtus.Pro.Prodigy, they never really pressured Nico Baby. He was I'm watching him like free farm super deep into the map. And simultaneously, they didn't ever kill S4.
Here comes Nico. Jumps in. Blade Mail's popped. He doesn't care about that. He is eating a lot of damage from it, but he has the ultimate. And taking the life of FN is certainly worth. Doesn't even need to worry about popping the reincarnation. He's well. Oh, Ein blinks in and gets put into the grave.
Yeah, I believe he dropped a ward sentry combination that they saw too, so they're immediately going to de-ward that.
And that is going to be a swift takedown by FNG.
Feels like another little taunt from Hanskin. How close was that? Not very. None of these fights have been that close.
And the Roche doesn't even stand a chance. Prodigy have no say in this matter at all. They're just inching themselves outside the base and trying to scrap together what little farm they can. But Alliance are on pace to scoot themselves into a cozy and comfy spot in those grand finals if this keeps up.
What a world of difference.
Hello. Here's an ult for you, and my buddy FNG's got a death ward with your name on it.
Tanky frontliners with stuns makes Viper look really good. Granted, feels like everybody from Alliance is having a free game, but looking back at that Nigma game where they had Weaver, that's the exact opposite of a Frank. Tanky frontliner with a stun. He has none of those attributes.
They block out Ein. He's forced to TP, but the coconut comes in from FNG. Get the hell out of here. Oh, he literally does get the hell out of there.
Maledict? He does have the urn on him, so he's dead.
All right, nice grab there from him. Just Alliance bullying them at this point.
Vlad's Helmet Dominator, full out team fight items that will bulldoze towers.
Top 3 net worth all belonging to Alliance here. A DD Viper, as mentioned, going to just start sieging away at the bottom. DM just dead instantly.
Yeah, I don't think that Wraith King cares about Blade Mails.
Nah.
He has 2 lives. He doesn't care about turning damage back around on himself.
God, this one seems so over right now for Prodigy. They are desperately trying to make something count or exchange. FN is going to be able to grab the top tier 2, I guess, for their troubles. But Alliance have a smooth road ahead of them here as they continue to catch little picks inside the base. They don't even seem to have to worry about any sort of 5-on-5 clash.
Grant and I were talking about all these one-sided games we're seeing. And I do think part of it is just the meta. I think it's supposed to be more one-sided without comeback mechanisms. Looks like they're going to try and kill FN at top.
Okay. Reflect Death back Ward. The Blade Mail.
Death Ward also doesn't care about Blade Mail. Okay, well, they separated them. Maybe they can get some kills in mid.
All right, a jump on S4 and a jump on Nico Baby. Buyback comes out from Ein's Bane. Can they get the second life of Nico Baby?
Just kite him around. He's very dangerous. But was he that dangerous that you had to back away from that engagement? I guess so, because the Aegis. I mean, they did a good job of ignoring Nico Baby, but they just ignored him, immediately got on to S4. But sadly, the other kill they could have gotten was Limp.
Yeah, I mean, all that to get the ultimate of Nico Baby. Doesn't feel good. He's got 3 lives. He's got 6 seconds to have his ultimate again. So like the whole game before was for nothing. Jump in, stun. Oh my God! Save felt that one in the back. Hard crit shot there. Epileptic Kid also going to be going down. GG has been called. Alliance, let them know how you feel, man. Alliance fans, let them know how you feel. But Alliance have now found their way into the grand final, and they have looked really good going along the way. As I mentioned before, they took down Secret in the first round, now taking down Prodigy. Who's going to stop this new Alliance team?